Red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue.
They go insane when they hearing his name, and it's not for the fame, we all for the love of the game. It's Clipper Darrell in the booth, got the show with fan truth, 100 proofs, so 2 and 2. Dash radio, cause they get it poppin' for show, it ain't no stopping the loud channel hopping. Plus you know Danny C had to drop in, so call in, we welcome blessings, and ain't no second guessing, for all who reppin' that.
Red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue.
Welcome to Fan Truth, you guys. I'm your host, Clipper Darrell, sitting alongside the Radiant Rose, my Fan Truth crew, baby. A show where your opinion counts, man. A couple of ways y'all can participate in the show, man. Give us a call, 323-230-4445. Hit us up on email, cd@fantruth.com. And definitely, man, hit us up on social media, man. Fan_truth, baby. Man, this show here, man, is brought to you by Tom's Jr., baby. Home of the chicken and waffles, man, in Linwood, Compton, Southgate, in L.A. Right there off of Compton and Slauson Avenue, man. Coming up for you today, man. I want y'all to stay tuned, man. Coming up next, man. We about to get busy, man. Every second Saturday of the month, I always do a relationship show, man. I got my girl in the building, man. Janet Rodriquez in the building with me. And it's about to go down, man. Whatever relationship questions you got today, man, it's about to go down. So stay tuned. Coming up next, baby. Fan Truth Radio. Let's go. Welcome back to Fan Truth. I'm your host, Clipper Darrell, man. Sitting alongside the Radiant Rose, man. My Fan Truth crew, baby. A show where your opinion counts, man. Give us a call, 323-230-4445. See, guys, every second Saturday of the month, man, you know what? I forgot I got to pay my bills first, man. This show here is brought to you by ASM, man. Start learning the stock market, man. Go to letsgoasm.com right now and learn the stock market through your favorite teams, man. Your sports teams. That's MLB, NBA, NFL, and NHL, man. So, guys, every second Saturday, we have a relationship show. I got my girl, what's your name again? No, I'm just Janet Rodriquez in the building. What up, girl?
What's up, Clipper D? We're ready. Let's get ready to do this. It's going to be a great show.
And well, we started this show because, you know, she was I ain't gonna say sexually harassed. She was she lost a job because she didn't want to date the dude. Okay, so we started this show, and it's every second Saturday of the month, man. And then what we do, I voice my opinion, you know what I'm saying? And then she voices her opinion, but we're not professionals. So we always bring in a professional to get that professional opinion the right way it's supposed to be. Because I'm going to tell you the hood way. I'm going to keep it real. You know, then we bring in a professional, you know, to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I like to welcome my guy. You know what I'm saying? I've been knowing him a long time, man. He's a diehard Clipper fan. You know, I like to welcome the Fan Truth. My man, when I say Al, you say P. Al.
P.
Al.
P.
What up, man?
Hey, what's up, Clipper Darrell? How are you doing?
Man, wonderful, man.
I'm a little jelly. I didn't get an introduction like that.
No, you don't get that.
Normally, I get a little some love, but I didn't get that today.
No, you don't get that. See, because you're a co-host on the show, so you don't get the love no more.
That's okay. Co-host to co-host. We should get more of it, right? See what I mean?
Nah.
Men and women get treated differently.
No, women, no. No, I don't separate that now. You know what I'm saying? Ask Carrie Champion. I show love to all my girls.
Okay, alrighty.
No, but Al, tell the people, man, what degrees that you have?
So my background's in sociology. I have a bachelor's degree in sociology, a master's degree in public policy and public administration, another master's degree in sociology, and I'm currently finishing up my doctorate at USC. I'll be graduating in January.
Hey, man,
Wow.
dang.
Those credentials are long listed for sure.
Man, you don't have no life.
It's tough. It's tough. I've been in school since 2004.
Wow.
Nonstop.
But you love it, though.
But there's
I love it.
Yeah.
there's
It's
degrees
great.
behind it too. So it's not like he's a career student. He's got some degrees to prove it.
Exactly. And working full-time. At one point, I was working full-time as an academic counselor. You know that.
Yeah.
As well as a college professor. And now I'm just doing the college professor thing exclusively.
Oh, okay, cool. And you enjoying it?
Oh, yeah. I love it.
And what type of teaching? What type of teaching you doing at the college level?
So I teach sociology. I'm the primary instructor for human sexuality at Los Angeles Harbor College.
Okay.
But I've also taught at Compton College, East Los Angeles College, LA Southwest, and in the spring I'll be teaching at Rio Hondo College.
Okay.
But marriage and family life, introduction to sociology, social problems, and like I said, primarily human sexuality.
Oh wow! See, that's what I'm saying, guys. This is why I bring in a professional because hey, I'm about to tell y'all the hood way. How I would do it.
And I'm going to tell you the classy lady way.
Yeah. and then Al is going to tell you the right way. You know what I'm saying? Man, this show, hey, give us a call, man. Voice your opinion with us today, man. 323-230-4445. Now, our first topic on the board, man, I was talking to Janet yesterday, man, and we was going through it, man. She wanted to get into dating and social media. She couldn't understand why guys don't be on social media. And I was explaining to her is that all guys don't like social media. All guys ain't on social media. She feels guys got something to have something to hide. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't feel that way. I feel there's guys out here that don't even know what social media is. They still got the flip phones.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They don't care for social media because their jobs doesn't require that. You know what I'm saying? This is what she do for a living.
Yes.
It's a difference. And she don't understand. She can't separate the two. And
Well, I'd like to elaborate a little bit about that. It's not that I can't separate the two, but I'll tell you a little story.
all right.
So my girlfriend is married. She's been married for about 12 years. And she loves social media. She keeps in touch with her family, her friends on social media. So she's forever posting. And then she tells me that her husband doesn't like social media. He doesn't like posting any pictures, and he doesn't like taking any pictures with her and things of that nature.
Oh, you don't like taking pictures with her?
He doesn't like pictures. He doesn't like anything posted. He just doesn't like social media at all whatsoever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, at least take some pictures with your wife, right?
Exactly.
So anyway, so she's been doing her thing. And then one day she's on Facebook and she says, oh, shit. She zooms in. She says, that's my husband. And he's taking a picture. He's in a picture with another female that she posted, that female posted on social media. So then she does all her research. She contacts the girl, and it turns out that the girl and this man, her husband, they've been dating for like 6 months. So then I go back to like talking to other girls, and I said, okay, what about your duties? So apparently we have discovered a trend here. So the men that do not like social media, the men that do not post, I wouldn't say regularly or obsessed with it, but don't like taking pictures to post on social media, have something to hide. They have something to hide. So then we discovered through Facebook that, again, a couple guys, not only do they not like social media because they're players, and this is a good way for us to discover these men, but in this particular case, this is how she busted her man cheating on her. Social media. So
wow,
it serves its purpose.
Wow, that's deep. So,
yeah,
man, a homeboy is stupid.
What? Because he's cheating, or because he allowed?
No, not because he's cheating. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying because he don't know how to cheat.
Oh Lord, that's a different conversation or a meeting.
Man,
when
you cheat, you gotta be smart. Okay? Why would you? You know you got a wife at the house. Why? You don't even want to take a picture with your wife, but you're going to take a picture with your mistress.
I think he just slipped. Because I'm sure if he doesn't like taking pictures, then that means he doesn't like taking pictures with anybody. If he was smart, you're right. He wouldn't have taken the picture with her either.
Man, I wouldn't have been in no. I wouldn't even have been nowhere where people had cameras.
Well, that's in the closet. Everybody has a phone on their, a camera on their phone now.
Man, I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
Because you're a cheater.
If you know you got a wife, no, because if you got a wife at the house, okay, why would you put yourself in that position, to get caught up?
If you have a wife at the house, why are you cheating?
Sometimes, man, y'all women is crazy.
Oh, how is he?
You need another woman to relax.
I'm outnumbered here today, sweetheart. We're gonna have to get our intern involved, because what does that have anything to do with women being crazy? A man, if he's a cheater, he's a cheater.
That don't mean that though. Just because he's a cheater doesn't make him a bad person.
Okay, we're gonna need a professional on this one because you and I are gonna duke this out. We are gonna need the professional. A man, if he's a cheater, he's a cheater. Regardless of where he's put on this planet, he's a cheater. And therefore, everybody has phones these days. And so you better just be slick about your life in general because you're a cheater. You're going to get caught. The truth will always surface.
But what I tell people to do is, see, what happens is how you get caught is people don't be honest.
Well, a cheater is not an honest man.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, if you tell another woman to say, hey, I'm a married man. I can't please don't take no pictures of me. We can hang out. We can have fun together. We can do whatever we want to do. But don't take no pictures and post it on social media.
Okay, but it turns out this mistress girl, she didn't know. She thought he was single and available. So she's posting freely thinking this is her man. She's posting. So
that's why.
So you're right. He wasn't. He was
done.
True. So
he really didn't care though, because to me, it when you don't see, to me as a man, if you don't tell a person, like, I'm an honest person, and I'm gonna tell you up front, hey, I got a wife at the house, or I got 2 girlfriends. You could be my 3rd one. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna mess this up. Like just like with D. Ray Davis. D. Ray Davis got 2 women living with him in the same house.
So but that's an arrangement, and arrangements happen all the time. And I'm not. I mean, whatever works for them. Yeah, I get it. But what we were talking about is a trend, and that's the topic today. The trend on social media and dating relationships is: do men that do not participate in social media, is it a trend? Do they have something to hide?
Not all of them.
Is this their way of?
Not all of them. Not all of them. Some guys just don't like. Hey, have you ever seen the dudes? Have you met the dudes that got the little flip phones?
Those are drug dealers. Those are hustlers because they remove what they need to remove from the back.
Because they don't use social media. That's why. That's why they have them phones. They not that don't make them bad people.
That just makes them like over 45. I don't know who has a flip phone anymore. Man, tell me your buddies do. Tell me you don't have one. You have 15 phones over there. Tell me you don't have a flip phone.
Yeah, because I need my phone because I'm on social media.
Right.
Okay. But if I wasn't Clipper Darrell, shoot, man, I wouldn't want to be. Man, social media gets you all caught up.
It does.
You know, people, you'll post something, you know, and then just say you post your girl. Like a lot of people don't like to post a picture of their kids and they girlfriends and stuff like that because they don't want nobody to comment on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People comment bad things. I've seen babies get posted. Man, that's an ugly baby. How you gonna call somebody else's person?
That's terrible.
Man, you don't do that.
Well, yeah, you definitely expose yourself to the World Wide Web. Yeah. I get it. But that's exactly what it serves its purpose for, too. I mean, it's a negative and a positive. Mm-hmm. In this particular case, for the wife, it served a positive purpose, unfortunately, but she was able to discover. She was able to play investigator and discover because she contacted the girl.
Wow.
And then now they're friends. And now they're like, you know, both kicking him to the curb. Shame on him.
You know what? That's the craziest shit. Excuse my expression, my friends. Wait a minute. They're friends now?
They're friends now. They have something in common. They share their man. They have something.
Wow.
Yeah. But thanks to Facebook, so there's positives and there's negatives.
Hima, could you be friends with a girl that your man cheated with you with?
No, I would just let her go.
That's what I'm saying.
Let everything go.
Just let everything go, huh? Wow. I couldn't be friends with nobody. I mean, I can understand. I would talk to the dude and say and understand, hey, you know what happened? Hey, I'm her husband. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, I didn't know, man. I apologize. And he's gone. I'm cool with that.
I agree.
But me and him would never be friends.
I agree with you on this one because I am a very emotional girl and I would be devastated, I think. So I probably would not be able to be friends either.
That's crazy. Now, Doc, what do you think? Is it okay to be friends with somebody with that cheated?
That cheated in a relationship, or the person that was the byproduct of that cheating?
Yeah, the byproduct of that cheating.
So it's normal. It's expected at times because what we have to do is that we have to remember that the individual who was engaged in that cheating, who was the other person, is not necessarily always at blame if that person was unaware of what was occurring, unaware of that person's previous relationship or current relationship. Where we begin to run into issues, though, is if person A, you're in a relationship, that's your wife, that's your girlfriend, that's your boyfriend, that's your husband, right? Goes out, pursues someone else, and person B is well aware of that person.
Okay.
Right? When that's the case, it's going to be very difficult to make progress and to be friends with that individual. But at the end of the day, we have to understand the one who's guilty is the one who cheated.
Yes.
Right? The one who cheated. The other individual is not at fault.
You mean the husband in this particular
The husband in this particular
Right.
case. And what we're seeing here is a classic display of male privilege. Right? This concept that men are allowed to be promiscuous, men are allowed to have external relationships or additional relationships, and they get away with it. Right? They get away with it because in our society today, men are taught to express their sexuality openly. The concept of being in a monogamous relationship, right, seems to only apply to women.
Now,
Because when it comes-
isn't that terrible?
Well,
That
No, it's not.
listen,
Because for me, men. I mean, how I look at it and how I've always been around it is, men could sleep with 10 women and be the hero. A woman sleeps with 10 dudes, they're a slut. I don't know how you look at it.
right?
You know what I'm saying? You can't. Women just can't do it. That's why I always tell people. People always say women and men are equal. They want to have these equal jobs. Well, we're not. We're never equal. We can't carry a baby for 9 months.
Right. I definitely agree that we're different in a lot of ways.
Exactly.
However, we're held to a lot higher standards, and that's unfair.
Why?
It is very unfair. If you can sleep with 10 men, not that I would, but why can't I?
You can't. You can't.
Nothing.
That means you use property. That means you super used.
And what about you?
I'm not
Wouldn't you be used property?
No, I'm experienced.
Wow.
what we find here
Yeah, tell us.
is
though.
that when we look at men who cheat and the impact that it has on their woman, and women who cheat and the impact that it has on their man, women are more concerned at times with the emotional connection involved with that cheating. Men at times are more focused on the actual physical activity itself, right? And so when we start to look at relationships and we start to look at the progress of relationships, and in my classes, what we talk about are the ABCDEs of relationships. With that starts off with attraction, building, continuation, deterioration, and ending of a relationship. And these are the 5 stages that we oftentimes may experience. What we have to understand is that as we get through this continuation phase, this phase where we begin to define who we are in a relationship, we also have to be honest with who we are, right? It requires a lot of self-reflection. And my argument is, if you think you're going to cheat or you're capable of cheating, why be in a relationship?
Amen.
Right? You're better off breaking up with the individual that you're with, divorcing the individual that you're with, and starting that new relationship or pursuing that new relationship. Because think about the stress of cheating. You have to create a state of paranoia, making sure, hey, don't post me on Facebook, don't post me on Instagram, don't
Right.
tag me on Twitter, right? This idea that if you love the person, if at any point in your life you cared about your significant other in any way, why would you do them dirty? Right? Why would you cheat on them in a way that will hurt them? And we know that in relationships, especially when it comes to infidelity, it's very difficult to recover from. Right? This is not something that you just get from point A to point B overnight, because now you're thinking about and constantly analyzing yourself, saying, what was wrong with me? Why am I not enough? Why was I not fulfilling what this particular individual that I was with wanted? And so those whys will drive us crazy in life. And so I think we just need to be more considerate of others. And like I said, if you're going to cheat, break up, end the relationship, try to end things peacefully, and then move on. But be honest with the individual and say, look, this is not what I want.
Right.
You know, I'm no longer happy in this relationship. We might be in this relationship, but I'm still lonely. Whatever factors come into play, but be honest with the individual, because then you allow them to have closure at the same time. And you're showing this person, even though I know I'm hurting you right now, I still care about your general well-being in the future.
I don't like you no more.
That takes a lot of courage. That takes a lot of courage because
Yeah.
people want their cake and eat it too.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's why people don't do exactly, which is the commendable and respectful thing to do, but people don't do that.
Man, coming up next, man, we got more. We got more of this, man. Call us, man. 323-230-4445. Are you single by choice?
That's a good question.
Coming up next, Fan Truth Dash Radio. Let's go. Welcome back to Fan Truth. I'm your host, Clipper Darrell, sitting alongside the Radiant Rose, my Fan Truth crew, baby. show where your opinion counts, man. Hey, give us a call, man. 323-230-4445, man. Hey, are you having problems with rusty water, low water pressure, leaky pipes, man? Give my man a call, man. Mr. Repipe at 877-973-7473. And for those of you that's tuning in right now, man, we've been talking relationship talks, man. We've been talking about dating and social media. You know what I'm saying? Give us a call and voice your opinion, man. 323-230-4445. My co-host Radiant, man. I know for those of you that's tuning in, they didn't hear her voice today, man. She was running a little late, man. She does these little things that she has to do for her job, for the community. And she was running a little late today, man. What's up, girl?
All right. Well, as you know, I am a crisis response team member, and we're doing a lot of training. So right now we're at the end of the mandatory training sessions for the crisis response team, and we respond to suicides, homicides, infant death, fatal car accidents. And it's very intense training because, you know, we want to know, even though we're volunteers, we want to make sure that we're giving the most in crisis response and support, and activating the support of the victims and making sure that they have the resources that they need that's necessary. So yeah, guys, you guys are going to miss me a little bit in the next 2 weeks. Graduation's right around the corner though.
Yay!
So yay, I'm so excited because, you know, I really want to affect change in my community, and that's through actively volunteering and actively committing my time to become a better use in the community. But I was listening on the way up here, and I have to say I completely agree. Cheating is just so unnecessary. Just leave the person. Absolutely, just leave.
And I'm done with this, man.
That's easier said than done. People are so selfish.
It's just, I don't want to feel stressed. I don't want to, you know, go through this programming in your head where you have to be like, oh man, please don't follow me on social media. You're balancing 2 phones at this point, you know? Not that I know, but I could only imagine.
Man, that's the craziest, man. That's hogwash, man. So you're telling me if a man cheats on you, he's gone?
You know what? Okay, it depends. If I'm married and he cheats on me and it's like one-time thing and we kind of talk it out and we go through some counseling.
Man, where does there to talk through? Wow. He cheated on you.
Wow. No. You know, remember we had this conversation and you said if he cheats on you and it's with someone you know, it's done. Yeah. You know, but if he cheats on you and it's just like one of those things like...
Oh, now she gonna make me eat my own words.
Always.
I wouldn't even put that out there.
Always.
I wouldn't even put that out there. You're single, you haven't been married yet, and your future husband's gonna hear that and say, you know what, I get a pass one time because she set it up. No. They know better than that.
But see, you can't, you know, this is the hard, I mean, relationships is hard as it is. You know, and this is why I always encourage, like with my daughter, I always encourage best friends. When you're your best friend, see, when you marry your best friend, you know everything about that person. It ain't nothing that person can't do. You know when that person is lying to you. You know when that person's sick. You know what he's going through. That's what I tell about, you know, I encourage women and men to you know, marry your best friend. Be with your best friend. Because we jump into this physical. Oh, man, she's cute, man. You know what I'm saying? I've never been with the girl this fine before. Hey, man, after 3-4 months of that, it's over with, man. You got to be able to have a conversation with somebody. You got to be able to trust somebody. You know what I'm saying? If you can't confide in your girl or your man, you don't need to be around them. If you got to hide everything, if you got to hide your bank receipts, if you got to do this, you don't need to be with that person.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? It's a 50-50 situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you go broke, she should be able to lift you up and say, baby, we're going to still do it together. Okay, go out there and let's start all over. You know what I'm saying? That's the encouragement you need. She rubs your bald head and she tells you everything's going to be all right. Not she leaves out, runs out the door. I hate women that do that. You know, you just going to the next man, so you going to the next guy that got some more money. So this one went broke, so now you're going to go to the next one that got the money. Come on, man.
I agree.
You know?
But you know what? I found that I was in that situation once, and the guy was very intimidated by me. Like, I offered to support, and you know, I even offered really serious, a down payment on this guy's new car. And that's really serious. Like that. Like I've been with.
Will you marry me?
Because I
We don't
understand the
condone
struggle.
that. We don't condone.
But I understood the struggle, and like we had been together for like 6 years, and then now, like even now, it's like we broke up for like 2 years, but we start talking maybe a little bit, and it's just I don't know. I just kind of over it. He didn't accept it, of course, and because it was that alpha ego type situation where it's like, I don't need you. But then he complained everything, like he complained like I would walk out on him. And it's like, that's not fair because I offered and I'm trying to help and I'm trying to make this work. And yeah, I might be further up in my career and I understand that, he's making efforts and that's all that matters as well. But I don't know. It's just like topsy-turvy.
Al, is she crazy or what?
Looking at the situation we were mentioning about an ex that you were trying to help out with the down payment, what we're dealing with here is male machismo. This idea of male dominance within the relationship through the socialization process. We learn early on that men are supposed to be the main breadwinners within the family unit, that men are supposed to cover the expenses for the family. And that is actually dangerous to our progress in society. Because if we're going to achieve true equity, we need to make sure that we treat women not as second-class citizens, not as someone that we need to care for, and what I mean by care for is not someone that we have to take care of financially, right? We have to view this as a direct partnership with one another. And rather than saying, well, you know what, it's going to hurt my male ego, it's going to hurt my status, and oftentimes what we find is our men are concerned about what their family's going to say and what their friends are going to say. Oh, she helped you out, she bailed you out, you have a sugar mama now, right? Think about that. We have, as men, we have a considerable amount of lack of confidence, you can argue, when it comes to women helping us out, right? We'll let our mothers help us out all we want. But when it comes to a woman, and because of how we've been socialized, there's that social expectation that, we're going to be the Superman. We're going to take care of everything. And we're so terrified of the idea of having a Wonder Woman in our life.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we have to be able to address that. We have to be honest with ourselves and acknowledge, hey, you know what? I'm not at point 8 right now. I'm not where I want to be. But you know what? She's making positive strides. She's willing to help me out. She's willing to invest in me. And as men, we have to realize that the same way we're willing to invest in our women, in our partners, we have to be willing to allow them to invest in us as well.
But invest in a positive way, not a usable way. And as you just don't sit your ass at home and,
Yes, exactly.
Thinking she going to take care of you. No. He's saying, I'm giving y'all the hood example. He did the correct way. I'm going to give you the hood. Hey, this Clipper Darrell in the building, baby. And he's saying, don't sit your ass at home and have your girl taking care of you. You get out there and make strides to be successful along with her. You know what I'm saying? So that's all,
Okay,
and
now
I agree
I'm gonna comment a little classy, sexy way on that particular topic because I posted something on Facebook a couple of days ago about that and how men desire and want
you, man?
A woman.
I don't want you anymore.
Hold on, baby. Hold on.
Janet.
This is a hot topic for me because I'm product of this. So men say they want a woman who's got her shit together and can do for herself and she's alpha and all this wonderful stuff. But then when they get her,
you intimidated.
They get intimidated. They don't know what to do with her, and they don't know how to act around her. They push what they want. They pull and pull, and and then we're back to square one again. So what is it that men really want? And then when they have it, understand what you really want and desire, because once you get it, you've got to know how to take care of it. Not only, obtain it, but keep it. So us as alpha women, and I'm going to say this loud and clear, because this is sensitive to my soul. Us as alpha women, I work hard. I have my own shit together and some. But I love hard. And I don't need a man in my life, but I want a man in my life, and I know how to fall back and be submissive when need to. In fact, my post said something like, I love hard, I want to fall back and to submit if a man can lead. So again, if you know what you want as a man and not be intimidated by an alpha woman who has her shit together, but still be a man and can lead, why not build an empire? Why not together just dominate the world? Because she's got this end, you've got that end, and together we can make it happen.
And I agree with that. But what happens is we, as men, we grew up, what I was saying earlier, we grew up knowing we supposed to take care of our girl. We supposed to be the leaders. We get intimidated. See, for me now, a woman could make more money than me, baby, because it's going on in the same account. It don't bother me as a man. Right. I don't care about the money. You can make $150,000 and I can make $50,000. It's all going in one. Yeah,
but there's women that exist like this. For instance, we've got our shit together, we make our money and so forth. But I love to go home and clean. I love to go home and cook. Yep. I love to go home and take care of my man. So we still, we're bred the same way. We have that same DNA where we're supposed to take care of our man. Allow us to do so. However, when I hit the field and I'm out working, allow me to do that too. So, just understand women of today, especially alpha women of today. Our careers are important. Our monies are important. Our networking is important. But when I come home, I want to feel safe and protected and let me cook, let me feed you, I iron clothes. I still iron clothes. So there is that mixture of a woman that does exist today. So if you want her and desire her, go get her. And when you recognize and you realize you have the one, take care of her.
Can you iron my clothes too?
I couldn't agree more. Like, that's exactly how I feel. And even like being single now and just trying to find somebody who agrees with that, it's just a push and pull situation. Where sometimes they'll be like, oh yeah, no, I'm ready to move in and take that next step or commit to you on that level, and then they change their minds, and then the next day they're like, oh, actually, I don't know, it's a hit or miss.
Right, I get the whole jealousy thing. Like, okay, it's very sexy that I've got everything going on for myself, but then why do you have to wear that in a couple months? Why do you have to wear that? And why do you have to talk to him? And why do you have to go there? And why? Excuse me, I'm the same chick you met 3 or 4 months ago that you liked and thought was sexy, and now you've got a problem with the way I move.
I mean, but that's how men are, though. That's how we are, because we want to be dominant.
And that's before. In control. That's before sex.
Wow. See, but I don't know what it is with you, man, because you be whooping. You must whipping on men or something, man. It's them eyes. It's that walk. It's that talk. You just make a dude weak in their knees, girl. But no, men just want to be dominant, man. Men just want to be in control. And by you having your own shit, it's scary. Because now it's like you don't need me. So we get scared as a man. See, before I would get scared as a man. Oh man, she don't need me. Now,
Yeah, but somebody else is gonna get. I need you to pay a bill, but I need your warmth. I need your leadership. I need your caress. I need your, I need you.
But we wasn't raised that way, though. See, you only react on how you was raised. Guys, I grew up with a mom and a dad. I don't know how I feel to be in a single parent household. You see what I'm saying? So everybody thinks differently. If you grew up with your mom, you're going to think differently. If you grew up with your dad, you're going to think differently. If you grew up with your mom and dad, you're definitely going to think differently.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's how people are raised. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. Well, then if you weren't raised to be with a dominant alpha woman because your mom wasn't, then don't request that. Don't ask for that because you're not ready. You can't handle it.
But it's not a thing of handling. It's knowing. You see what I'm saying? See, it's something that we didn't talk about or something that y'all haven't talked about. They just feel intimidated. See, I know you. You see what I'm saying? You wouldn't intimidate me at all. See, a woman that make more money than me would never intimidate me.
Okay, so maybe that's key. Maybe we can ask the doctor this. Is that the key then? Get to know her. Because once you get to know me,
exactly,
I'm not scary at all. I should not intimidate you. I will break down some chilaquiles in the weekend real quick.
But see, like when I first met Janet, I thought she was flirting with me. But it's her personality. That's who she is. You know what I'm saying? And people will look at it and say, oh, she want me. But that ain't it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's just how she reacts. Now, when she likes you, she going to show you how she likes you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's that physical attraction. But what guys don't do today that I feel is that we don't date anymore. Only thing we want to do is jump in the sack and keep on moving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't want to get to know the person. See, I'm big on getting to know a person. You know what I'm saying? You got to be best friends first before you even sleep with the person, because if you don't, if you end up, because you're going to get caught up. You know, your feelings and everything else, because it's all about a physical attraction. You know, people say, oh, I'm in love with you. You ain't in love because it's the physical.
It's lust.
Be in love with me, knowing me, you know, without having sex. See, I believe in a 90-day rule. I believe in a 2-year rule. You know what I'm saying? Don't touch me.
We need to be careful before we start to assign certain activities or certain behaviors to males and females as exclusive. Because what we've seen is that as our society's evolved, as relationships or the meaning of relationships have evolved, we've now in many ways adopted a 0 to 100 mentality. We've adopted a mentality that is similar to the concept of McDonaldization, right? We want everything fast. We want everything quick. We want everything hot. And what we find in relationships is that if we skip the attraction, the building, and the continuation phase that I mentioned earlier, that can be detrimental to a relationship. When we focus on lust, when we focus on purely sexual relationships, we know that the meaning's not necessarily there. When you hit hard times, you don't know how to deal with it because you've never faced adversity in any way. What we have to be mindful of here, though, is that when we look at data, when we look at research, yeah, all the research is going to tell us that, you know, men are more sexually open or more likely to talk about relationships. I'm sorry, more likely to want a sexual relationship, that men are less likely to be emotional at times or less likely to want to communicate. And what we have to do is we have to challenge that research, because we have to understand is that research is still male dominated. Research is still male driven. When we ask women, the way we phrase questions in interviews or in observations or in surveys, right, is detrimental to our study. Because we'll ask a woman, hey, what's important to you in a relationship? She'll look around. Okay, who's around me? Oh, my mom's around me. My aunt's around me. Okay, I have to give the politically correct response, right? And so what we do is we limit the voice of women in relationships, and at the same time, what we do is that we empower men once again to say, you have the power in the relationship. What we have to focus on is the partnership aspect. DJ Khaled, Waka Flocka Flame, if you guys watch the Breakfast Club or Hot 97 interviews online, you'll see that they talk about the women not as, this is my girl, this is my boo, this is whatever. They talk about their women as, this is my partner. And if we don't go into relationships thinking that this person is my equal, that this person is my partner, this is the person I'm going to build a future with, the likelihood of the relationship existing or succeeding in the 21st century is limited because of the influence of social media, because of what we see on TV as what the perfect relationship is going to be. We need to limit our TV watching, right? We need to limit what the type of social media that we're involved with, and let's just focus on each other. Right? Let's focus on building the strongest relationship we possibly can without allowing everyone else to provide their input.
Wow, man. You couldn't have said it no better, man.
Right.
Y'all listen to the Fan Truth Hour, man. We right here, man, talking relationship talk with my girl, Janet Rodriquez, man. I got Al P in the building, man. Bro, Al got so many degrees in this, man. That's why I always got to bring in a professional for people could understand this, man. Give us a call and voice your opinion, man. 323-230-4445. You know, now, you want to say something, Rose? Well,
I want to say, we have to try to get to that point first. Right now, everything is focused online, social media, and apps. And as you were saying, it's superficial. So it is easy to McDonaldize relationships. Yes. It's hard to meet organically. I have not met anyone organically for I don't know. I mean, well, aside from coworkers and that type of situation. Okay, Clipper Darrell. And you. It's just very hard when you want to go out, you're going out to a party and you're involved in different areas, and then people say oh, they're intimidated by you or they're too nervous to approach you. But online, it's you could get a full messages, nonstop messages. And they're all superficial messages because it's not like you're really trying to get to know me. You're trying to select to see if I'm going to give you what you want, Yeah. And it's that one-way thinking, one-way situation that's really not fair anymore.
It depends on how much weight we give to let's say, text messaging. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, online dating apps. Those are all good resources to get to know someone. Right? You can do your Facebook stalking real quick and say, oh, wow, this person likes the Dodgers or this person likes this food. That's really cool. We're really focusing on the surface here. Right? We're not digging deep. And what happens is that as we progress through relationship, if we still rely on those mediums, if we still rely on social media to define our relationship, then yes, it's going to be detrimental to our growth. But if we use social media or online dating apps or online dating websites as an introductory point, right, that's a great way to break the shell, because the places you may hang out, there might not be any qualified candidates for you, right? And the likelihood that you run into someone and you just automatically click, that I don't know if we can really quantify that, but it's very unlikely. So online allows you to talk to multiple people, to develop those interests and say, okay, I want to pursue it. But the question is going to be, when I actually go on a date with this person, is he or she going to be able to converse with me? Or are they going to be on their Twitter? And then once we leave the date they were completely silent. But then once I leave, boom, I'm getting all these text messages. I'm getting a full conversation, right? Online, they're really spending that time. They're investing that time to get to know me. Well, then we know how much weight that person gives to social media.
Right.
Versus how much weight you assign to it.
It's just so tedious, because then you're retelling your story multiple times to multiple people online, and you don't know what they're doing with this information. And that's something I have to think about. Like, I don't want everyone to know, like, oh, wow, I just saw her on Tinder right here. Like, okay, she's you know. And then I know, oh, wait, she's in the mayor's office. What? You know, like, so then I'm considering their motives as well.
You can't post where you work at on Tinder, girl.
What? That's like a part of it, because then you have to be interested in it, right?
Well, no, she can post that she works for the city of LA, not necessarily side by side the mayor.
You don't say you work for the mayor's office, girl.
Right. You can just say
I work for the city of Los Angeles. That's it. You know, because it's not everybody's business. You know, this dude just might stalk you because you work. He's trying to get next to the mayor.
See, well, this is why I delete all my stuff every time. Like, my friends, they'll convince me, oh, no, you have to go on this. You have to go on this. And then, you know, I give it 2 days, like maybe 3 days. And I'm just like, I'm over this. I can't do this. I need to be organically meeting people, because I'm a traditional type of person. I believe in, if a person is interested in you enough, they will approach you. No matter how you're looking, no matter, you know, they will make that. If a man is a man, he'd be an alpha anyways and want to approach me. You know what I mean? So if you can't approach me, that means you're already barking up the wrong tree.
Right, because he's got to be alpha to deal with another alpha.
I've been approaching you. What's that? No. No.
I don't know if that's true though. Maybe that's again another question for the doctor. Can an alpha and an alpha get along and be successful in a relationship, or
if you're friends,
or well, I don't know, because you clash. You clash.
Just because you're an alpha doesn't mean you're gonna. For me, you're not going to clash if you understand one another's alphaism.
Agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. And know when to fall back.
The issue that we should be focusing on is the concept of compromise. Right. If we look at the business world, for example, the best businessmen and business women are those who know how to compromise, those who know how to negotiate. If you're going into a business scenario and you're not willing to budge at any point, you're not a good businessman. You're not a good businesswoman. Now let's adopt that same mentality when we get into relationships. Right. We have to be willing to compromise and say, you know what? I understand this is important to you, but this is also important to me. But because I care about you and because you care about me, let's find a middle ground.
Right.
Right. So let's say, do the Dodgers play tonight?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let's say you hate the Dodgers, right? But your partner loves the Dodgers, but you're going to SC game, as you mentioned earlier. But your partner hates SC.
Right.
Right. Well, a compromise would be, you know what? We'll go to the first half of the SC game because it starts at 5, and then we'll make sure to make it to Dodger Stadium by 7:30 so we can catch at least, you know, the second or third inning. Right? Now, that's a very simplistic way of looking at it, but alphas can coexist. It's about your ability to, once again, be honest with yourself and self-reflect and say, what is important to me? Because we get so caught up on the superficial. We get so caught up on the things that are not important that we allow that to ruin a relationship. Because if you reflect on your own personal lives and failed relationships, think about what you were arguing over. Think about what you were fighting over.
Right.
A lot of times it wasn't really issues that were really important to your life. At times, it could be very silly things that accumulated and then eventually led to the demise of that relationship. So I would say let's redefine the relationship. Let's have that honest conversation with each other. Let's say, this is important to me. This is important to you. Let's find a middle ground. Let's grow together. And we have to really focus we have a tendency in our society to focus on the micro, on the immediate scenario. Let's focus on the macro. Let's look at the larger picture here and what we're hoping to accomplish together.
I just recently sat with my girlfriend and we were talking. She's also an alpha. And we were talking about relationships and dating in preparation for today. And I said to her, I know I can fight alone. You know, in a relationship, I know I can fight alone. I've done it my whole life. But I know I can't win alone. So that's where it comes in, where I know I'm an alpha. I know I can get the job done. But in a relationship, I shouldn't have to. I should be able to count on my partner, depend on my partner, share responsibilities with my partner, and go win together. It's that simple. Why is it so complicated for men and women too? Like, we just complicate things. It's really simple.
Coming up next, man, on Fan Truth, we're going to find out why men complicate things, man.
Yes.
My way, Janet's way, and definitely the professional way. Coming up next, Fan Truth Dash Radio. Let's go. Welcome back to Fan Truth. I'm your host, Clipper Darrell, sitting alongside the Radiant Rose, my Fan Truth crew, baby. A show where your opinion counts, man. This show here is brought to you by Tom's Jr., baby. Home of the $1.50 shakes, baby. Compton, Linwood, and Southgate in L.A., man. Right there off of Compton and Slauson Avenue, man. And y'all make sure y'all tell them Clipper Darrell sent you, baby. Man, we got in the building, man. Excuse me. Special co-host today, man. Janet Rodriquez, man. We do these relationship shows every second Saturday of every month. And we just get into it. But we always have my opinion, Janet's opinion, and we always bring in a professional, man. Al P's in the building, man. This is what he majored in college. This is what he do. He teaches sociology, man. And he's here in the building, man, giving us the professional opinion, because you always gotta even it out, because I don't want to give y'all the wrong way. And Janet's way might not be the right way, but hey, there's a professional way. So you got 3 choices on this show, man. So give us a call and voice your opinion with us, man. 323-230-4445. Now, before we went to break, Janet was talking, and she always got something to say, man. She never stopped talking. Now, what was it before we went to break?
You didn't take notes?
No, I didn't take notes. I messed up on that one.
Why is it so complicated? Why do men complicate things? It's really simple. Just like men claim they're simple, women are not. I get it. But we can be, especially alpha women. Alpha women can be so simple because we're used to chaos. But when it comes to our relationship, simplicity wins every time.
You know the best relationships I've had? The ones that I met over the phone first. Like blind dates, like people was introducing me to somebody, because I got to know the person. And then when we met, I didn't care. It didn't bother me how she looked.
But now everybody texts. How can you get to know somebody via text?
Oh, I tell my daughter all the time, if a man texts you, he ain't shit.
Right. Pick up the phone.
Yeah. If he can't pick up a phone and dial and talk to you,
right,
that means he got issues.
Right.
The only thing that you text is where y'all gonna meet, the addresses and stuff like that. If a man got to text you back and forth, that's all the way he could communicate with you. Either he got another woman, or he got somebody else texting for him. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen that happen. You think you talking to that person? You ain't really talking to that person. I've seen it up close and personal. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but we as a whole, women don't ask enough questions. A lot of people accept what guys say instead of doing your research. We can't, just because I say I'm this, I'm that, I'm an engineer for Northrop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that'll come out when you build a friendship and you get to know somebody. Truth will tend to come out with
all the time,
dates and everything else. But remember, one of the topics on our list is: are we single by choice? Do we choose to be single because we've got our careers, we've got so much going on, or because we're jaded or we're tired of being BS and so forth. So is the individual single by choice? Because I believe in the power of the universe. I believe what you put out there is what you're going to manifest to reality. So if I feel that I am better off single and I move better single, I'm more successful single, then I'm probably going to be single and stay single. But if I continue to believe that, no, I can't, fight this fight alone, I cannot win, life alone, I need a partner, then the chances are I'm probably going to meet somebody like that. So, or do I just deliberately make the choice? Do we make the choice to be single?
What happens with us, guys want to impress you. You're a very pretty young lady. You got your shit going. People are intimidated at the beginning, right? And this is as a man, it's intimidation. So now I don't want to lose you because you seem like you got your stuff together. Now I'm about to tell you what I do, okay? But I'm gonna add stuff on. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm a manager. I'm a manager of Del Taco. I'm an executive GM at Del Taco. You see what I'm saying? So I still work for Del Taco.
Yeah.
But I'm an executive. It's a difference. So people start, because it's all about impressing. It's not how much money you make. Mm-hmm. It's what you could bring to the table and what you can offer. You know what I'm saying?
And that doesn't have to mean money.
Exactly.
It can mean anything. Like I own my own home, and the man doesn't have to make more money than me. But if he can do stuff around the house for me, simple stuff around the house, that speaks volumes, and that is
like
worth.
What? Like what?
Hang a picture.
Oh, okay.
Cut the grass or pull weeds or whatever. That to me is worth so much more than a paycheck, honestly. And I say that with all the truth in my body.
So I'll be over tomorrow.
I think one of the things that we need to focus on is the amount of time that we spend in our interview phase, because that's exactly what it is at the beginning of a relationship. Yeah. Right? At an interview, you're not going to tell them, hey, these are my weaknesses. This is what I'm bad at. Mm-hmm. Right? This is where I need areas for improvement. Right? You're going to highlight all the positives. And that's what we do in the initial stages of a relationship. We highlight all the positives, right? I'm flawless in every way. Think about, I look at my schedule, and I've been in a relationship for 8 years. But if I was back on the market, if I was out dating individuals, right, and it's someone that I'm really interested in, they text me, I'm going to text them right away, right? Hey, can you are you available Friday night? I'll make sure I'm available Friday night. Mm-hmm. But as I progress through the relationship, that availability is I'm going to be real with you. I'm not as available as I once was, or I made it seem like. The reason why I made myself available is because I wanted to make sure I didn't lose you, right? But realistically, I might see you on Sunday nights and that's it.
Yeah.
Right? I might see you on Sunday nights. You can come to the main stogie with me and smoke a cigar, right? Those are the type of things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But we're not honest. And so what happens is that we go through these relationships. Once again, we didn't talk about what's a priority for you in the relationship. What is a priority for me? Going back to the concept of the alpha male, and why do guys make it so complicated? I would argue both sides can make it complicated, but the reason that it's complicated is because we weren't open in the beginning, right? If you don't want someone to call you 24/7, let that person know, hey, I'm cool with only seeing you once a week. But what happens is that it's like training a dog, right? On both sides. If you want a dog to adopt certain behaviors, you train them. Well, in a relationship, in the early stages, we're being trained, right? We're being trained. And if you want to see me every day, then okay, I'll be there every day. But then fast forward a year, if you no longer want me there anymore, right? Well, what happens? I've been re-socialized, right? You're my number one priority now. And now you're asking me that to not make you a priority. What's going to go through my mind? Right now I'm going to think, oh man, is she falling out of love with me? Is she getting annoyed by me? Does she not want me a part of her life anymore?
And it goes back to the communication concept.
It comes to the communication. And every aspect of any relationship, the absence of communication will destroy that relationship. And
say that one more time. Say that one more time. Come on, bring it to me.
So the absence of communication will destroy any relationship. And we're talking about, the silliest things at times, right? Since I teach human sexuality, I talk to my students. When it comes to human sexuality, communicate with your partner with what you like and what you dislike, because that can make or break the relationship as well.
You hear that, Clipper D? You hear that? Tell her. Tickle me like
You know
this.
what? What if you communicate too much? What if you communicate too much?
We're known
Because
to do that.
I feel
yes.
like as an alpha, I will tell you exactly straightforward what I like, what I don't like. Not only that, though, in the interview process, I would tell you, yeah, you know what? Actually, here's where I do like falter at. I am insecure sometimes in certain things, and I am needy sometimes, but only needy in a. I need attention.
Right.
You know, I need attention.
That's a question for you, Doc, because I'm alpha. I keep saying that over and over again, but I am needy. I'm so needy.
What do you mean
You're
by
like
needy,
my
though?
other soul partner. You know,
I'm needy in terms of I gotta
Attention.
I gotta have a lot of attention. I am the queen of mushy.
Oh,
Let me go do what I do, but when I come home, mushy me up. Give me some attention. Love on me and let me know that you love me and that I'm
Clipper Darrell,
special.
come back here.
There you go. Like
If you guys saw what's going on, Clipper Darrell just ran over right now.
Like that. I love mushy and I'm needing for that and I yearn for that and I desire that and I have to have that. Because then I feel, oh, he doesn't want me or he doesn't like me like that. And mind you, I'm dominant, right? But I'm weak in that area.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
well, we have to be mindful and careful with our own insecurities, right? This idea on both male and female sides of, well, if the person doesn't react this way or doesn't respond this way, they must not want me anymore.
Right.
You know, when I look at that, you know, that's problematic in so many ways because you're not giving that person a fair chance. Anytime we develop expectations for individuals, but we didn't communicate what that expectation was, or we never actually had that conversation about the importance of being mushy and all that kind of stuff, how do you expect the person to read your mind? Right? And so what happens is that if the person doesn't know what you're interested in early on in the relationship, I'm not talking about the first date or the second date, right? We're talking about months into the relationship and you haven't communicated to that person that that's what you're looking for. The person's not capable of reading your mind. And what happens if that person's not interested in it?
Okay, so I have communicated that, and I'm
Okay.
very good at communicating. I'm just like her. I will give you a checklist if you want to. I over-communicate.
I actually encourage that. I tell my students all the time, basically put out a resume
Yes.
of your expectations of relationship. And when you meet someone, don't give it a first date. But once you guys start getting to know each other, say, can you live with this?
Yes.
Yes or no. If you can't,
I will
cool,
do
let's
that.
part ways.
I'll put it on your fridge. I'll post it. I'll fax it. I'll email it. I'll scan it. You will have my list because I have these expectations. But for women like me, I don't know about you, sweetie, because we seem to be connected. Will it ever be enough? Because I've had to catch myself saying, you know, he's made some changes. I can see some changes, and he's mushy, this and that. But I want more. I always want more.
Absolutely.
So
I
will
always
it ever
want
be
more.
enough?
And you know what though? How do you take disappointment? Because you know, I give this list, right? And I kind of make it very clear. And then I say, like, it fulfills me in a way because, you know, I am very happy. But then if it just slips up just a little bit, that one slip up like crushes me and I get so disappointed
Yeah, I
to the
wanna
point
run.
where I
wanna run.
I can't
Done.
deal with it. You know, it's like, it's so disappointing.
Right.
I'm like, what? You don't think I'm worth this anymore?
Right.
I'm like, do you know?
Or I
like,
say, ooh,
you
red
know?
flag, running for the hills. Bye, dude.
Yes.
So how many things are on your list?
Well,
If you had to quantify, I mean, let's be reasonable here, right? But
Yeah, let's be reasonable. Yeah, listen to the man, okay? You got like 30 things on your list.
I demand respect.
okay,
I demand
okay.
honesty
Okay,
and a whole lot of mushy and sex.
okay.
It's really that
She said
simple.
mushy and sex. Wow.
It's really that simple.
But it depends. See, with sex, it depends on the age. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know.
I'm in the medical field. What does age have anything to do with it?
No.
You need a little help, honey?
No. Some guys don't want it every. Oh, wow.
Do we need a little blue pill, puppy?
See, 'cause I'm the type, I don't have to have sex every day,
What's wrong with you?
but I got to cuddle. I would like to cuddle every day.
What is wrong with you?
You see what I'm saying? I would like to cuddle every day. I would like to know my girl is there for me. Like at night, are you the type of woman that'll lay there and I can hold you in my arms and we can go to sleep together like that? Some women can. Some women be like,
No,
I need my space when I go to
Mushy
sleep.
is mushy. You got to be able to spoon. You got to be able to mush. Just mush.
You know what though? What I realize is I don't need that. I don't need
Really?
like sexual stuff. You know, I need mental support to know that you're emotionally there for me. You know,
As
it
he's
doesn't have to be
rubbing on
physical. You know, it doesn't have to be physical at all, because I need to feel stable. That's what I feel. As an alpha person, one of the main things on my need is stability. Do you have a job? Could you support?
Right.
If anything happened to me tomorrow, will someone have my back?
Right. No, I feel you there too. However, I'm big on mushy, and sex is very, very important. And if you're in a relationship that's stable and married or whatever, why? I don't understand why you can't have sex every day. What's the problem?
I mean, to me, it's not all about. it's not about the sex,
I gotta
though.
spice it up a little bit.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta, tickle his fanny a little bit.
No, it's not about the sex for me though. It's about the like I like to cuddle. I like to hold each other.
That's intimacy.
Yeah, I like.
Okay, intimacy.
I want that part. I don't like the sex part. I don't need. I don't have to jump up and down on you.
He must need a
to
blue
know.
pill. I'm just saying, he must need a blue pill.
No, I mean, because I'm older now.
See, Alice
it's
is
a
white though.
difference.
You can do blue or white. Which for you?
I don't need the pills, But my thing is, I want the intimacy, because if you have that, the sex is gonna be there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, it's still intimacy of some form.
But no, you can have sex without the intimacy. I know dudes that just walk in the house, and they don't. It's no love there. They just having sex.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's not what I'm about.
It's no love. I want that affection.
Right.
I want to be able. We can still hold hands.
Right.
I love to see the couples 25 years, 30 years in, still walking down the street holding. I was teasing a couple at the game last night because they was holding hands. They was in the suite. They was holding hands together. She rubbing his arm. I said, "Hey, that don't tweet." I like that though. You know what I'm saying? I'm an emotional person. See, I was born.
But that's mushy. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I love PDA. I love to hold hands. I love kissing in public. I love all of that.
Now,
I gotta have it.
Now, you talking about tongue kissing in public, or you just?
No, I'm still respectful and classy with it, but I don't mind pecking here and there. I love affection.
Okay.
I love it.
So you can go to the music park and he can hold you behind
Yes.
in the thing, and he
Yes.
sits up on the bar. See, I like
Yes,
So-
I like
so
to
why we
be
get
with
together
my
then?
man.
Why are we together?
Now, the question I have for you is, obviously, once again, you're not going to communicate it too early in the relationship or in the getting to know one another phase, but does the other individual value sex in the same way? Right? Because you can have great sex, but doesn't necessarily mean that individual values it. And at one point, and this is very dangerous relationships, and I use the term dangerous many times because there are a lot of things that can end relationships. But what happens when the individual says, you know what? This is no longer about what I want. This is it's all about what she expects. And anytime someone feels entitled to a particular activity or a particular object, right? Once again, that's dangerous to the relationship because the person says, well, okay, so what if I tell her I don't want to have sex for a week? Or, I'm just not into what she's into, by touching, inserting certain things, whatever it may be. But the person's scared to communicate that to you because they know the importance of sex in your life, right? Once again, now you're dealing with the person's ego, male or female, doesn't matter. And now the person says, well, I can't fulfill her needs the way that she wants me to.
Yeah, that I find that to be an issue. I don't know if you do, sweetheart, because we intimidate a man. I have been told that they won't, communicate certain things with me because they walk on eggshells because, they feel that they're not going to meet my expectations. And really, if we just talk about it, I will compromise. Okay, we don't have to have sex every day. We can have sex every other day. I'm okay with that. We'll compromise. But communication is key. But I find that because the intimidation kicks in, then they won't communicate. Then it's dangerous to the relationship.
You know what? Yeah.
Go ahead.
My last relationship ended in February because of that. It got to a point where he was no longer happy because he was too stressed about my happiness.
Right.
And of course, we were communicating, because it really ended in December when we were talking about this. And, dang, that was a long time ago. But anyways, we were talking about this and he finally kind of said, I just can't with you because the pressure you're applying on me for your happiness is too much. And, I have to really appreciate that he kind of it was very hard. I took it very hard. But I had to appreciate.
But
have
see,
to
does it go
appreciate
back
it.
to the simplicity and the complication? He might have complicated it too much. Where if he had just talked to you and you would have been okay because you
Told me in
really
the
are
beginning.
that simple.
He told me at his like overwhelmed point where it all kind of just spilled out at once, instead of just telling me initially once he felt it. Right away, if he had told me, I would have backed off. I would have fulfilled my role in letting him be the man and kind of taking a back seat and seeing what I could do for him more, if he felt that way, because I didn't even know,
He lost his sense of self.
right?
Because now he developed his identity tied with your identity. We talk about that in relationships, how we begin to progress the relationship when we transform from the I to the we. The problem is he focused so much on you that not only did he lose his sense of self, but then he started saying, wait, I'm catering to everything to make her happy. She thinks I'm happy because I have a smile as we're doing it. Well, on the other hand, let me self-evaluate and let me really look at the reciprocity of this relationship. And I realize now, I'm doing everything for her, but she's not really doing anything for me. And so what he engaged in there is social exchange theory, right? This idea, let's build a cost-benefit analysis. Right? What is the benefit to me being in a relationship, and what is the cost? And the cost was he was no longer himself because everything he did tailored to you. Right? And I don't know the whole scenario, right?
He was an alpha, so he was still
But think about that.
focused on that
He
as well.
was an alpha though.
Benefit and loss.
And
is
then
huge.
because there was no compromise and there was no communication, because you're right, he should have communicated that to you early on, but because there was no communication, he went from being an alpha to being submissive.
Right, but he was also insecure about my growth and moving up. And he's like 7 years older than me. Like he was 30, about to be 31. And he was insecure of all my moves and how ready and going and like straightforward I was. So even though he was an alpha, he was combative
I
in
would
that
argue
lane.
he's a false alpha
right.
because that insecurity jeopardizes that alpha status. Right? We all have our
Before me,
insecurities.
like I feel like
False status. I think that was my ex too, because he is an alpha. But when we connected and as we started to date, he realized, oh shit, maybe I'm not an alpha. Maybe I'm we know who we're talking about. Because certain things intimidated him that he never knew would intimidate him before.
Yeah. Because he was used to dating individuals that basically said, walk all over me, do whatever you want, you make all the decisions for me. Now here's a strong, powerful woman who's saying, hold up, that's not how I do it, right? You don't get it. You don't have the final word in this scenario. And now he's thinking like, oh man, think about it. Like if you play on a really crappy baseball team, but you're the best baseball player on a really crappy baseball team, and then you go to a really good baseball team, and now you're at the bottom of the list, right?
He's got good analogies.
Yeah, think about that, right? But I mean, when we look at it, you could be, we look at basketball, for example, right? The Clippers, let's be honest, we sucked for a long time. And then DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, for sure time Chris Paul, come in, right? They're really top dogs. But then when you look at the larger scheme of things, right? When they play Golden State Warriors, right? All these alphas all of a sudden became very submissive. Right? All of a sudden, Chris Paul forgot how to play basketball.
So why not be both? Why not be alpha when you need to be alpha and be submissive when you need to be submissive? And it should be a partnership.
Women can do that. Women can do this balance if you're using both sides of your brain. It's really simple. Men cannot accept this concept of balance. And it's because the men's ego. It has to be male ego.
See,
It is.
But it's some men though. Some men can do it. You know what I'm saying? See, like what he was saying, I was saying earlier, the professional is that you have to communicate when it bothers you. As soon as it starts to bother you, that's when you communicate.
Women are better at communicating, I think, right? Men will fester with it
Because we don't want to hurt your feelings. We want to hold it. But then what happens is when you get to a big argument, everything comes out. Because I always tell people, man, when you argue with your girl, whatever she says in that argument, she really means it. She might come back and apologize saying I really didn't mean it, but she mean it. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you
we
really
mean it a
feel.
little too much and we go overboard.
Yeah.
Alpha women go overboard.
Go for the kill.
Yeah, we go for blood.
I definitely went for the kill, and
Yeah, we go for blood. And if we see blood, we go harder. We
Yep.
don't know when to stop.
And so then that raises
that's
another
really
question,
bad.
right? What's the purpose of getting in an argument? Is the argument to cause the person that you supposedly love and care about harm? or is it supposed to be constructive? Because if it's supposed to be constructive, the whole point of the argument is to teach you, hey, you know what, we really need to fix this. Then our approach towards that criticism, our approach towards that uncomfortable state needs to be different.
Yeah.
Right? We have to stop listening defensively. Right? We have to be careful with how we provide input or feedback. The problem is, because we're very emotional, male and female, right? It's easy to talk about this stuff right now until we're in that scenario. Right? Because we can all leave this room right now and say, yeah, you know what? We're going to talk everything out. Everything's going to be calm. Run into our significant other and boom, go for the kill. Right? And that's the unfortunate thing is that, you know, especially with those of us who identify as, I guess you can argue, alphas, right? We don't know how to lose.
No.
And when we do lose, we're not going to admit it.
No. You know, maturity and growth, in my opinion, for me, has really helped me a lot. And if I can teach you anything, sweetheart, for your future, that'd be great. Because before, I would see some faults and I would, you know, take it a certain way and nag and bitch and say, this is not going to work for me. Now, I'll tend to look at him and say, oh, that's his way of showing me he loves me. Oh, that's his way of communicating. And then I immediately soften up and I'll say, okay, sweetheart, that was awesome. I appreciate the way you said that and handled that, but maybe for future. And then it's working, which is very different for me. I shut it down and I don't want to talk about it. Didn't you get my memo 2 weeks ago? Did you get my post-it? Damn it. I have a list. So, you know, maturity and just experience and building a friendship definitely helps.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, and I like what Darrell said about the best friend, the concept of the best friend, because who knows all your innermost secrets?
Right.
Right. Who are you going to be able to go to when times are harsh or tough? A lot of times, you know, once again, we want to buy into this image of the celebrity life or what we see in popular social media of these individuals that are hugging and kissing. I look at Instagram. We do studies of Instagram in the classes that I teach. And you'll see individuals, you know, we'll look at, you know, relationships and you see all these people like hugging and they're like in a meadow somewhere. I'm like, that's not real life, right? People looking at each other, smiley faces. I tell my students, you know, when you're really in love with someone, when you look at them, you're like, oh man, like my girlfriend always tells me, you know, you're lucky you woke up this morning because your snoring was awful. Right? Though that might terrify some other individuals, I know the fact that I woke up this morning means she loves me. Right? And that might sound like a really crazy
You see the
way
interpretation?
of saying it.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
interpret it differently.
And so when I look at that, right, it's okay for people to drive us crazy as long as it's a healthy crazy.
It's a healthy crazy.
Right? I tell my students all the time, let's look at what the textbook says and then let's develop our own opinions based on our own experiences. Because as I stated before, what the textbook says, we're not necessarily going to adopt that in our everyday life, right? I want to talk about communication, but we all have areas for growth in communications. That's nice. That's a beautiful thing about relationships is there's constant room for evolution, right? And what's communication today may not necessarily be communication tomorrow, right? And so relationships are very unique. And, you know, we try to make blanket statements, but at the end of the day, it's what makes you happiest. Right, what makes you happiest and what benefits to the overall well-being of that relationship.
Right.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing, though, man. Relationships is hard, though. You know, like
They are.
and that's why I always said best friends and communication is a must. If you don't communicate, man, you ain't got nothing. You know, that's bottom line. Because how we've been talking about it the whole time. You know, how do you know how you feel? How do you know how the next person feels? You know, so you know what I'm saying, man. For those of you that was listening out here today, man. Whoa, this was a crazy show, man. I have my girl Janet Rodriquez in the building, man. And my man Al P in the building. Al, what's your, man, say your last name.
Pimentel.
See, I like to say it right. I don't want to say it wrong. Man, that's a crazy name, man.
Yeah. Very
I've
unique.
never seen it. What is it? Italian, Greek?
Well, my grandparents are from Mexico, but the last name originates actually from Portugal.
Oh, wow.
And so if you look at one point, probably about 5-10 years ago, many members of the Portuguese government had the last name Pimentel because it was a very common last name in Portugal, similar to, you know, Reyes or Dominguez or Rodriguez or one of those names in Mexico. It's a very, very popular last name. Out here, I know like the singer Miguel, his last name's Pimentel, but his is A.L.
Oh,
right? His
okay.
is A.L. And occasionally you'll find people with that last name, but you know, that's the nice thing, it stands out.
Exactly. It does. It definitely does that, man. But I definitely, man, appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
Did we finish our
really
list?
appreciate it.
You know.
I made you a little list. Did we finish our list?
Oh wow, she owned me today, huh? Nah, because see, I want to talk to Al. See, we gonna bring Al back.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I like
He
Al.
was awesome. Yeah.
We're gonna bring Al back, but I gotta see. I gotta talk to sports about
Okay,
with Al.
let's do sports.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Let's do sports.
I ain't talked to my boy in a long time, so we gotta get.
It's been a hot minute.
We gotta get into some basketball in a minute, man. So coming up next, man, we're gonna have more. We appreciate y'all tuning into the Relationship Hour, man. And definitely, man, tune in. Man, follow my girl, Janet Rodriquez, man, on social media, man. Hey, on Facebook, man, I'm telling you, man, she's always throwing something out there, man. And I can't stand when she tagged me in it. Because everybody that tags you, right, every time somebody posts something, it hits you. Man, I'll be like, man, girl, I'm gonna put on my Facebook where you can't tag me in that no more.
If I tag you, I'm building topic for our show. So that's why I tag you so you're fully aware and
oh man, hey, they be wearing you out too.
Yeah.
but nobody see. We might got a call coming through. Wait a minute before we go. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in marketing. I do social media management for about 9 clients now. And so I have to create chaos on there, and that's what I get paid to do. So follow me on social media. All Access Events LLC, as well as Lovelife by JRod.
Love what?
Love Life by JRod. That's the name of my clothing line. You know, I'm designing clothes for curvy women. So that is what it's.
Oh, that's why she be taking all them butt flicks.
No, I have about 8 interns that post for me, so 90% of what you see is not me.
Yeah,
but they know to post butt pics because I design clothes for butts. So we need butt pics, right? and Doomy back there's going, yeah, we love butt pics.
Coming up next, man, we're gonna have more with Al P in the building, man. We about to talk sports, man. Man, give us a call, man. 323-230-4445. Welcome back to Fan Truth. I'm your host, Clipper Darrell, sitting alongside the Radiant Rose, my Fan Truth crew, baby. A show where your opinion counts, man. Give us a call, 323-230-4445. Are you having problems with your sewer, drains, gas, water? Call my guy, Mr. Repipe, man, for a free estimate, 877-973-7473. Man, for those of you that's tuning in right now or tuning in before, man, we had a relationship talk today, man. And it was off the chain, man. I got my girl Janet Rodriquez in the building, man, with my man Al P in the building, Pimentel in the building. You know, he was the psychologist in it. He was the professional. Okay. You had my opinion, you had Janet's opinion, then we had the professional opinion, man. And it was a great show, man. But you know, Al's a good friend of mine, so you know when I brought him on the show, I definitely I can't let him go, man, unless we're gonna talk some basketball, man. Man, what you think about this LA Clippers team we got now?
Oh man, my heart is still trying to recover from the Chris Paul trade. I think Gallinari is going to be a benefit to the team. The only downside is we needed Gallinari 2-3 seasons ago, right? We have a solid power forward if Blake shows up in the fourth quarter. DeAndre just needs to increase his offense. I think Gallinari is definitely going to shape the team in many positive ways. But what happened to our leader on the floor? Blake Griffin has proven that he can't be a leader on the floor yet. I hope he's able to in the future, but I predict that the Clippers are probably going to win 48 games, 48 to 51 games.
You think
max.
so? With this team?
I'm hoping.
Oh, wow.
I'm being very generous here.
Yeah.
Very, very generous. And I can't go back to the days where we were at the bottom of the conference. I just can't. So I'm hoping the Clippers get at least a 5th or 6th seed. I definitely don't want them to have the 7th or 8th seed.
Yeah.
I don't want them to face Houston or San Antonio or Golden State in the playoffs.
I would love to face Houston in the first round. I don't want to face Golden State, but I would love to see Houston though.
Okay.
I would like to see Houston, man, because you know, just for revenge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then if we put Chris out, oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? That'll be a talk of the town. I think we can go all the way after that.
Now, I can tell you, I'm really happy about the Lou Williams pickup.
Yeah.
In that trade. I think Lou Williams is going to be a phenomenal 6-man. I was heartbroken that Jamal Crawford, one of my favorite basketball players, left to Minnesota. But, you know, I'm really hoping that 48-win, 50-win team, hopefully they'll be able to compete. I think Blake really needs to step up. I think DeAndre, if he doesn't step up to the plate, I know the Clippers talked about keeping him long-term. maybe after this season, if he doesn't step up, we got to trade him.
Wow, well, who you trade him for though? That's the thing.
That's the question. And I've heard people say Whiteside. I don't know if Whiteside would be a good trade. I really do like Derek Favors, even though he's not putting up the numbers. At least Derek Favors can hit outside shots.
Hey,
right?
did you see
that sort?
Did you hear the news about Emeka Okafor?
No.
Bro, they sent him. They waived him. The 76ers waived him, right, and sent him to the G League.
Really?
Yes. And he was the number 1 pick.
Yeah, number 1, yeah. I mean, that would be a good pick, a backup.
Wow. No, I wouldn't. I don't even want to. But
you don't want him?
I don't even want to. But it was crazy to see a number 1 pick
get sent to the G League.
Get sent to the G. Wow. Just like, remember the dude? I forgot the guy's name. I can't even think of. Nick might know. The one that the Cavaliers got, and he was the number 1 pick. He just got waived. No, not Wiggins.
Anthony Bennett.
Anthony Bennett.
I was working at UNLV as an academic counselor when Anthony Bennett was drafted into the NBA as a first round pick. And so I'd see him around campus and say what's up to him and all that. Good guy, just unfortunate that his career didn't really pan out.
That's crazy. And he was the number 1 pick.
Yeah. He's playing in Canada, right?
No, he just got waived by some NBA team. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just to see these guys coming in, and if you don't invest your money right, man, you could walk out of the NBA, man, and be broke. Huh? Yeah, the Suns wait.
Wow, you have to be pretty bad at the Suns.
Hey, man, come on, man. The Suns wait, Anthony Bennett, come on. Something's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this is going to be one crazy NBA season, man. With the strength of the OKC now, strength of, of course, Houston, with the trade with Chris Paul, and the Spurs. Spurs, for some reason, man, they always stay in there, man.
I mean, they must have some type of fountain of youth or something. Because I was watching the game the other night. I forgot who they were playing. That was Houston. And Ginobili was just running like a madman. I'm like, this dude's 40 years old.
Yeah.
He should be retired already, but he's performing at a very high level still.
If you could, one thing about Pop, and I love about Pop, is that he paces his guys.
Oh, yeah.
And the times and stuff like that. And when, when you got to show up. You know what I'm saying? And he has to show people, hey, you ain't coming in this league and thinking just because I'm 40 that you're going to take advantage of me, man. Because I would love seeing the other night Vince Carter on the floor, man. He's 40 years old, too. Just to have Sacramento picking him up, just for that veterans leadership, to see him on the floor.
Exactly.
Still playing, man.
He's still dunking. Did you see his dunks last year?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I'm like, man, you can still get up.
Probably still competing in the dunk contest.
Exactly.
Might have to ice his legs a lot after, but he might still be able to compete.
A lot of icing, man. Icing. Man, the NBA starts Tuesday, man. Tuesday. Yep. Are you a baseball fan?
Not so much. I mean, I was as a kid. I am a Boston Red Sox fan. Of course, they lost, so their playoff runs ended. But yeah, I watched some baseball. Huge Dodger fan when I was a kid. I'll watch the games. I'll go to games and all that. But I mean, my blood bleeds NBA.
Exactly. That's how I am. Hey, Janet, you going to the Dodger game tonight?
Not Dodger game. Well, actually, I may catch the end of it. I'm definitely going to the SC game.
Are you going to the SC game?
Yes.
Who SC play today?
Utah.
Oh wow.
Utah is the second in the Pac-12, whatever division they are. So
who you going to the game with?
Not with you.
Oh wow. Wow.
Not with you. I don't get an invite to a Clipper game ever. So I don't understand why I don't get a call to go to a Clipper game. I ask you to go with me all the time. I've asked you several times and you turned me down.
Yeah.
So
I'm afraid of you though. See, because you intimidate me. I'm really scared, man.
I've asked him to go to a Clipper game, and knowing he's already there, I said, but I'm in a suite and I've got food. Let's eat. And he's like, nope, I don't move. I sit right here. I don't move. So then I said, okay, well, I've got tickets to a Laker game. You want to go? No, I'll never go in there. Yeah.
she got the magical powers, man. Don't look in her eyes.
Okay.
Don't look in her eyes, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what she do to these guys, man. But she intimidates me a lot.
I'm real and I'm authentic, and people can feel that.
Exactly. You keep it 100.
I do.
And that's why we got a good relationship because you keep it 100.
That's right.
There ain't no fakeness about you. I don't like fake ass people. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing about me is fake. Nothing.
Nothing
about me is fake.
You see what I'm saying? You see how that flirtations get, but see,
Feel the vibe.
I know. See, but I know where I stand at in her life, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? See, other guys will be like, "Oh man, I think she won't me."
Right.
See, I already went through that my first stage when I first met her. I thought, but that's just her personality, man.
I'll say, "What's up, Big Papa?" And somebody will be, "Why do you call him Big Papa?" I said, "When you meet him, you'll understand. That's my Big Papa."
Man, hey, because I mean, relationship. I mean, because when you could communicate with, I mean, we communicate a lot,
Yes.
Right.
and for this show and everything else, and about life. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to ask her about relationships because she's gonna give me the woman side of.
Oh, yeah,
she's gonna give me the 100.
Yeah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And when she asks me about a guy, I'm gonna give her the 100.
We always need a woman's perspective if it's in relationships or discuss, even in politics,
Right.
right? I would argue that half our Congress should be women. We might actually be able to get something done.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's
Definitely.
We might-
coming from a man. That's big.
Yeah, I mean, look at, not to get too political, but look at how certain policies are not being passed right now, and who are the individuals in a particular party standing up. The guys don't have the courage. It's the
Wow.
women within the party who are saying, "We're not going to go with that. You can't bully us."
We do have bigger ovaries and men have balls.
Y'all got cojones.
I mean, the fact that you go through pregnancy,
Right.
right? I mean, it shows the strength of a woman.
Exactly.
A man would never be able to
Never.
handle that.
Never. We wouldn't have too many children in the world. You would have
Exactly.
one and never do it again. Women do it 3, 4, 5, 9 times. My grandmother did it 14 times.
Wow.
Wow, man, I couldn't see it, man. But definitely, man, Al, man, I definitely appreciate you coming.
Appreciate
through.
it. Thank you for the
You know what I'm
opportunity.
saying? Appreciate that, Janet.
We do. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Another successful show. Appreciate
you.
you. Him in the building, man. Social media, man. She won't be with us next week, man. She got all these jobs now, man. I think
I'm proud of her.
Hey, she went from 0 jobs to 10 jobs now,
Yay,
man.
I'm proud of her.
She got a little Jamaican in her, man. Big shout out to my man Nick, man. Nick always on time, man, with the engineering, man.
Shout out to my cameraman, man, Doomy. He's always here. He delivers good product. So shout out to Doomy.
Forget Doobie.
No, I love Doomy.
Man, appreciate my co-host next to me, man. You know,
That's my little sister.
What's your name again? Nah. Radiant Rose in the building, man. It's crazy, man. For those of you that hung with us throughout the entire show, even 5, 10, 15 minutes, man, it don't even matter, man. United we stand. Divided we fall. I love you, mama.